What is going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to the channel. This is Unitedverse, everybody. I am your host, Sean, and we are back with a match reaction / three thoughts. You guys know I wasn't able to do a whole lot yesterday. That's why I put out so many shorts. So I like to give you guys something to interact with, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on all that as well. That's why I do that. But I had to pick up my wife from the airport yesterday. She's back from her 2-week conference / workshop in London. She slept for like 12 hours last night. Hilarious. But we are back today. And you know something? I'm not even going to be a little bit careful about this. Brighton, we're talking a lot of smack all week long on social media leading up to this match. They were absolutely going ham all over the place, and it was like they were banking on it. They were reminding us. Not so talkative now, are you, Brighton?
You was popping all that good shit a second ago.
They were just, I can't even fathom how happy I was to see them just get absolutely hammered, smoked, put in their place, however you want to call it. I was happy about it. So social media been a little quiet from them recently. What are you guys saying here in the chat? Big up Bexy, big up Jim. How you doing, man? Big up Stephanie. Hopefully to see you well. So Brighton talking a lot of smack. Speaking of not so talkative anymore, where are all the pundits and the media outlets who were celebrating the arrival of Florian Wirtz midweek? Big 5-1 win over Frankfurt. Yeah, big 5-1 win over the 7th place Bundesliga side who've conceded the most goals in the Bundesliga. That apparently means that Florian Wirtz has officially arrived at Liverpool, by the way. Oh, thirsty. 3-2 loss to Brentford for the Scousers. Fuck all from Florian Wirtz again. And Van Dijk gave away a pen in that match as well. I didn't check. How many long balls did Brentford play in that match? I'm asking for a friend. Just wanted to clarify. I saw too, Arne Slot tried to say that, hey, take away the throw in and game ends 2-2. Yes, take away any given goal in any given match and the result's probably going to be different. For fuck's sake. The excuses that this guy is getting away with from the media. Can you imagine if that were Amorim or Ten Hag or Mourinho or anybody else at United who said something like that? Yeah, take away that goal and the game's different. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the amount of protection that Liverpool get, man. So apparently long balls don't count, and now throw-ins don't count either. So it's fine. Penalties also don't count, I guess, too. So, and apparently Arne Slot's new excuse is too many away games. I guess maybe we played too many away games. Like, dude, it's absolutely ridiculous. I needed to use spell check today for my notes for the first time in forever because I couldn't remember how many L's there were in slots. Apparently there's 4, by the way, in case you were wondering. So we just gotta. They just have to take it. It's just, I told you guys when Arne Slot was starting to get his tactics and not just ride on the coattails of Jurgen Klopp's and all those match winners. When they started selling players, when they started rebuilding, when some of the best players they had were going to drop off, that's when we're going to see what he has, and what he has is fuck all. So it is what it is. Chelsea fans literally already hate Garnacho, and I mean literally they already hate Garnacho. I'm not trying to bash the kid, but it's just funny when Chelsea want to just give us the big one when they get Sancho, when they get Garnacho, and then they turn around and then they immediately start hating these players. They flee back into the wilderness the moment we literally sit there and say it. We told you so. So in any case, got the bashing over with, you guys. Let's dive into this match reaction here. Like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please check those memberships when you get a second. It's the best way to get involved in the content. It's not just emojis and badges. There is a WhatsApp group now as well. And go check out the Unitedverse Everybody store, too, if you want to get yourself a Cunha or an Mbumo shirt in the Unitedverse Everybody store, you guys. Check that out. You can see some of them below your video player if you scroll down a hot second. Let me dive into the live chat and see who's in here today, you guys. Hold on. I already shouted out Bexy and Jim, Stephanie. Who else is in here? Bex says, I'm hoping for pure goals moving forward. Shesko, Cunha, and Mbumo all compliment each other. Yeah, and we talked about this. I don't know what Gary Neville's on, but yes, Shesko wasn't getting as involved, but his link-up play, his ability to win those balls, we said this when we signed him. He's so good in the air. that when you've got runners around him, just a little flick on, a little win, a little link up can be all the difference. And we're seeing that, and I'm loving it, man. Bexy says Liverpool so disjointed, like the yeah. Rob's in the house. Big up, Rob. Yes, guys. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. Rob says Brentford deserved the win. They were poor. They were just god awful. They were right. They thought that they had turned around. They thought they were back after that Frankfurt victory. Nope. Big up, Danny. Hope to see you, man. Good to see you. Adrian, yeah, YouTube is showing your guys' like apps now, not your nicknames. So if I don't recognize you, it's because of that. So it looks like this is Adrian C. Yes, great weekend. Even better, the Raiders to all your NFL fan. Big up. I never know where the Raiders are these days. It used to be Oakland, and then it was LA. I couldn't tell you anymore where the Raiders are. I remember when the Rams used to be in St. Louis. Not there anymore. So Stephanie says injury time, and I'll call play until Liverpool. Right, 7 minutes for that was my wife. Even my wife, because she was half asleep, half not. She was watching it. She was like, "It says 7, but there's like 10 minutes." I'm like, "Yeah." Tell me about it. David says Garnacho was poo-poo yesterday. Rob says Mbumo is the signing of the season. Well, let me know who your man of the match was in there. I put a little Q&A in the poll, and we'll touch on that in a second. But let me know. It's good to see everybody in there. Let me see. Jim says Neville hasn't got a clue. I don't know what his problem is. I'll never understand it when people like I don't know if he's trying intentionally to make sure he doesn't come across as biased or what. I don't get Neville's commentary sometimes. It seems like he's the only former player of any club who doesn't like get excited when their club. Even Robbie Savage celebrates when we score goals. It's like Gary Neville just actively he's like suppressing it almost. Like he's like, I have to say something bad so people don't call me biased. Just let it go, man. Nobody else cares. Why should you? Just do it, dude. Darkrow's back in the house. I've been a minute since I've seen Darkrow. Says as long as Amorim is winning, fans won't question his long ball style, lineups or subs. But we oversee Amorim style, for which he was brought here from Sporting. Well, maybe. I think we've seen glimpses of it, and I do think that Amorim's style is maybe also much more heavily reliant on mentality and the way we're playing, positional sense. The long balls we used against Liverpool really was because to win the second balls. It was a one-off kind of thing. And today we got a lot of attackers. I mean, no one cares when Brighton do it. No one cares when Jurgen Klopp did it for years. I mean, it's part of what Pep changed his tactics when he got here because he realized that winning the second balls is super important. We can't complain that Amorim has to maybe adapt a little bit and then complain when he does. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying take some of the tactics in some of these matches. Some of it is a one-off and some of it is a little bit more of what we're going to see moving forward. So, but big up, Darko. Good to see you again, man. Stephanie says United have a front three that works for the team, not just for themselves. Yeah, Cunha is an absolute warrior. We're going to talk a lot about that. So on the subject of Gary Neville, though, we do want to congratulate him for being inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. He was presented with that medal by Robbo. So big up, guys. Please just stop whining so much. Happy birthday to Patrick Dorgu, turns 21. And big up the under-21s on their 4-1 win over Spurs yesterday. Biancheri with a hat trick. He was an absolute force of nature yesterday. I was watching that in the morning. I was kind of commenting on it on the post here and there. Diego Leon had a brilliant solo goal, just driving straight through the middle of the park, shrugging off a defender and just slotting it home to make it 4. Like, absolutely good game. I loved it. The under-18s did end up losing 1-0 to Sunderland, though, so unfortunately, you saw that streak go. So, yeah, I guess long balls don't count. Yeah, Darko, are you secretly Arnie Slot? Is this your burner account? I don't think that it's not like an Arsenal thing where they're only scoring from set pieces, man. We started doing it against Liverpool because Liverpool are literally among the worst in the league when it comes to winning second balls, and we are the first in the league when it comes to winning second balls. And so we saw how they were going to play, and we adapted it. Yesterday, we didn't do that as much. We weren't concerned about winning the second ball or anything because we let Brighton play out from the back. We kind of played off. We cut off the passing lane. So it was a different tactic. Playing, just because you play some long ball doesn't mean you're a long ball team, if that makes sense. So it's like you can get goals on a counterattack, but not be as simply a counterattacking side, if that makes sense. Just because it happens in a match doesn't mean it's that we're going to do it forward. I would say just hold off on the forever judgment there. Darko. But it is good to have you back, man. Haven't seen you in a minute. Then he says Lacey was fired. Yeah, Lacey looks good. I was a little concerned when he went down with that shoulder issue, but it seems like he shook it off. So leading to being the first team, we'll see. He could definitely come in, maybe do a job during AFCON, maybe come on as a sub here and there. We've still got Mount up there. Zirkzee can play there as well. So we've got options, but I wouldn't mind maybe seeing someone like Biancheri, Lacey come in and just fill up the match day squad, and then maybe get like 5-10 minutes towards the end would be great. So Rob says some just have an agenda. Yeah, some people. I don't know if it's an agenda. I think sometimes, and I'm not calling out anybody in particular. I'm just something I've noticed with some people when they make a snap judgment on a player or a coach. It's human nature. Some people just it's really hard for people to go back on their opinion. We don't want to look wrong because we think it looks foolish. It doesn't. It's okay to just hold your hands. I had to hold my hands up yesterday, or the day before in a video, because I made a mistake when I was reading my notes talking about Kavi Manu and his injuries. I have no problem saying I made a mistake. It's very common. That's why the backspace button is like one of the biggest buttons on a computer. That's why pencils have erasers. That's why the woman who accidentally invented liquid paper became a millionaire. Like, making mistakes is one of the most normal things you're going to do as a human being. The difference is just being able to admit it without like being stubborn about it or anything. So, little life lesson for everybody there. Jim says he's just using what works for him. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a system, but then also adapting based on the opposition. I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes you do have to do that. So let's see here. Danny says Fergie most career played direct football, so why isn't it sustainable? Yeah, I don't have a problem with what we've been doing. It shows that Amorim is at least doing his opposition analysis. He's doing some homework. He's doing a little preparation. For a long time, I was a little critical because I wasn't really seeing that, and so it is what it is. Darko, you're not the only one who frustrated about it. I put out a short when the starting 11 was put out yesterday. I was really frustrated about it. I will say, though, Dallo did have a better game. Well, I'm not going to say he was class or anything. I'm not going to say, yes, don't sell him. I still probably would prefer to sell him, but he did have a good game yesterday by his standards. So we'll go through the players one by one here when we go through the stats and whatnot. And then you guys know I've got my 3 thoughts on the match as well. So let's see. Sun to S Flow. I'm going to call you Sonny. Dorgu and Dallo looking like weaklings. Well, Dallo, he's going to struggle. Dorgu's still young, so I'm not going to worry about Dorgu too much yet. We'll give him some time. He's only been here half a season, really. So, but Darko says Amorim was rigid, but it's changed, so fine. We accept it. I mean, yeah, when someone does what you've been asking, I mean, you're going to keep holding it over their head, or are you going to say, cool, let's move on? I've never been Amorim out. I've never been like, ooh, Amorim in. I've just been like, Amorim, these are some things I'd like to see him change. These are some things I think he really does need to change. I want him to do well, just like I want players to do well. But if he doesn't and things continue to go poorly, he's going to get sacked. That's just the way I am. So let's see. All right. Team selection. So Mount and McGuire on the bench, despite picking up knocks. We got a little word from Amorim in a pre-match interview that they could be doubtful, but they were fit enough to be on the bench. Mizraoui on the bench. Heaven and Manu both got a fair amount of minutes yesterday. We were up 3-0. Should have been done and dusted, right? Heaven even got the assist for Mbumo's second goal as well, so big up Heaven. But I do feel like those changes sort of also changed the momentum of the game. I feel like, at a couple times, like we've seen throughout the years, we've been up by a lot. We saw it under Ten Hag against Coventry and whatnot. And I feel like at 3-0 up, at home, we probably should have been able to bring on subs and not really have to worry about it. And so, but then they turn around and make it 3-2. And I do think I don't think it was anybody's fault about anything in particular, personally. I know some people will blame Dorgu. I don't have a problem with picking up a foul. I think he probably should have been better to get in front of the player, to get in front of that ball. But that's a tactical foul. It's going to happen. And there's really nothing you can do about Welbeck's free kick. I do have a problem with the placement of the spot because it was about 10 yards further up the pitch than the foul actually occurred. So whatever, it is what it is. But the free kick was perfect from Welbeck, so nothing you can do about that. But so I'm not singling out anybody in particular for why we gifted 2 goals after we made some subs, but just pointing out a correlation. It is what it is. I think that just it's hard when you want to rest some players, and you should be able to. You got the fringe players should be able to come on. Guys like Manu, guys like Xerxes, Ugarte, they should be able to come on and at least see out a result. So it's a problem. We'll figure that out. Maybe we can strengthen a little bit. Maybe they just need to work harder. Rob would sell Dallo in a heartbeat. Bexy thinks the Scousers will come good. Yeah, they do have quality, but the problem is when those quality players all have dips, then who do you rely on? I didn't think that it was necessary for them to get Florian Wirtz or Isak. Either get Isak or Ekitika. You don't need both. You already had Szoboszlai, who you've been slotting in as like a deeper 8 or even right back at times when you bought Frimpong. Like, what was the point of flying Florian Wirtz? You spent a lot of money on these two, and apparently the only kryptonite for spending 500 million in the summer is throw-ins and long balls. They should be doing better than what they're doing. So yeah, we're going to talk about Bruno because what a world-class dude. And it's not the first time he's done stuff like that, little no-look stuff. And it looks like it's just telepathic. It's because he's constantly scanning. That's one of my big 3 S's of being in midfield. You need to speak, you need to shield, and you need to scan. And that's scanning at all times, constantly having a picture of what's going on around you is exactly what Bruno's doing. So yeah, Danny, I agree. I would wait till the end of the season. I think Dorgu's young. He shouldn't probably start every single week. The same we were saying about Garnacho, the same we say about Manu. But like I said many times, it's those intangibles, the mentality, the effort, the energy. That's what I really like. He'll get better with the other stuff. I'm not too worried about that. So moving on. Remember when we spoke about Brighton really liking to have the ball, slow building up. They like to work that ball slowly up the pitch. It did sort of play into our hands in some ways because we do tend to get results when we don't have a ton of the ball. Our possession yesterday never went above 44%. We simply just kind of marked them man to man. We cut out those passing lanes. And then when they tried to pull out from the back, we did press a little bit here and there. We did pounce when there was an attacking opportunity. It's what we try to do. Press, coordinated press, win the ball, quick transitions. It's really the name of the game these days. We really overloaded their left-hand side, our right-hand side. There were times when Mbeumo and Ahmad were just running to Kuiper and Dunk ragged, and we saw the same thing against Liverpool as well. And it led to a lot of shots. We had 9 shots on target. They had 5. We created 4 big chances. They created 1. I mean, and really it's their set pieces that what got them back into it for a hot second, because they weren't really a threat outside of set pieces. They just weren't able to get that ball up the pitch, aside from that one opportunity that gave them the free kick. Again, I think that it worked out nicely for us too, that they weren't able to maybe pass it a little better, because I do think that there were times where we were a bit open, mostly because we were pressing pretty aggressively and we were making challenges and we were winning those challenges, and Brighton weren't able to do that. We left a lot of space exposed, but it's because we were so good at getting those challenges in. And I was really proud of our 1v1s yesterday as well. Thought that was really good. Yeah, they are a decent team. They were just a point below us, and now we're in top 4. So it is what it is, man. One performance though, I am big up Debasi. Good to see you again, my friend. One performance I am going to call out before we dive into the players, though, is Anthony Taylor, because what the actual hell. He had an absolute mare. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'll never blame a ref for a result, but you can point out poor showing from a referee. We did the same thing last year in the FA Cup against Arsenal. Brighton committed 13 fouls. We only committed 4, but we both teams saw 2 yellows apiece. It's absolute dog shit. He waved away so many fouls that we have been called for time and time again over the years. So many fouls that he has given free kicks away for. You can say, yeah, by the letter of the law, they're fair. But again, what they weren't is consistent based on what we've seen from other refs, what we've even seen from Anthony Taylor. Like, it's just bullshit, man. And 7 minutes of stoppage is an absolute piss take. It just is. I don't know where you're getting that from. I was so annoyed with that. Of course, Sky don't even talk about the penalty shout involving Ahmad, or the non-foul that was given when Dunk literally clotheslines Mbeumo. And Ahmad literally would have kept going and gotten to that ball had the Kuiper not completely upended him. Like, complete horseshit. But Sky are happy to literally walk the distance to show the distance from a wall to a free kick when we played Arsenal last year. Like, It's ridiculous, man. Fucking melt all of them. Agenda's gonna agenda, folks. Somebody though needs to go do a little investigation on Anthony Taylor's bank account because I want to see if there's been any big deposits recently because that was absolutely criminal. Danny says he was disgraceful. Always bends us over. It was absolute garbage, man. Yeah, Baleba again. Anybody change their mind on Baleba? We were going in hard for like 100 million in the summer, United, and now the guy is constantly either just the first guy benched or I don't think he's played a full 90 all season. I don't want him if you can't handle the pressure of us even being interested in him. I don't think how is he going to handle the pressure of actually being at United? I'm all set on that. Give me Anderson, give me Wharton, give me Stiller, give me Hackney, give me some of these other guys. I don't need him anymore. I'm good with it. God, yeah, Rob, it was a pen. It was an absolute penalty. It really was because Ahmad was literally because to Kuiper, yeah, he gets a tiny touch to the ball, but the ball keeps going, and Ahmad was going, so he gets a touch to the ball. But if that were an open play and Ahmad would have just kept running, he would have kept running, and he would have been given a foul. And that's one of my biggest gripes with no pens is when they're like any other place on the pitch besides in the box, it's a foul. Then it's a foul in the box and it's a penalty. Like he prevents Ahmad from getting to that ball. So what you gonna do? Big up Jarvis. Good to see you again, man. But yeah, Anthony Taylor was an absolute disgrace. I was just disgusted with some of the things that he was waving away. I'd be happy if I know. For a second, if I really squinted, I almost thought it was Arne Slot down there in a black shirt. It was really getting on my nerves. But big up Jarvis. Good to see you again, man. And then wasn't Michael Oliver on VAR? What a trash. Rob says the assists for goals are coming from all over the team. Yeah, we had this kind of feeling when we made these signings. It took them a little bit of time to start clicking. Like we're seeing Ahmad and Mbuemo really working in tandem now. Cunha's kind of finding a role here. Shesko is starting to kind of get used to playing. And it took a while because it was only a couple of weeks ago that all three of our signings started together for the first time. And so it will take a bit. Bilal, big up, man. Good to see you. Anthony Taylor and Michael Oliver. Yeah, it's a comedy duo, man. Abbott and Costello out here. Hope you guys are doing well. What about Senna Lamens, you guys? I felt bad for Senna Lamens. Really nothing he could do for either goal that we conceded. I mean, Welbeck's free kick was perfect. Nothing really you can do. If you save that, then you're just having an absolute worldie on the day. And it was just horrible defending on the corner kick that saw us concede. Everybody's wrong side of dunk. Bruno doesn't even jump. Xerxes is coming from behind. Like it just doesn't. That's just bad defending. And we've seen that time and time again from us when defending set pieces. Nothing you could do at that point. When you're a keeper and you've got two players in front of you, shouldn't have to deal with that. But it is what it is. I did think he did well to come jumping off his line, though, when there was a chance. When Ahmad was the only defender back and Brighton were almost through on goal, he recognized the heavy touch and came out and just immediately off his line to come collect it. And that's the kind of stuff that is night and day difference from what we've been used to, even under De Gea in some regards. Because De Gea, again, very good shot stopper, not comfortable in his area coming off his line. And I like that from Senna Lamens. He can do a little bit of everything. Lenny Yoro, I thought, looked solid in his return to the starting 11. I do think he needs to work on his passing a little bit. He is guilty oftentimes of just sloppy passing. He's young. It's going to be better. I like what I see from him. Otherwise, we played very high with him. There were times where he was well into the opposition half as we were kind of working that ball forward and working possession around the box. So I trust him in that because he is quick enough to get back. And so I liked what I saw from him. Danny says, yeah, there was no stopping that free kick, man. It was such a good free. It was perfect. It was absolute perfect from him, man. But I'm always it's like bittersweet when Welbeck scores against us because he is an academy product. We do love Danny Welbeck. That is 7 goals against us, though, since he left the club. So, Danny Welbeck, kindly fuck off and retire, please, because I'm tired of you scoring goals against us. Bexy thinks a world-class defender will be great. I'm holding judgment because I think Shaw did really well. I don't want to build around Shaw, but I'm saying we'll see what happens with Licha and what happens with Maguire, because I guarantee if Shaw and Licha stay fit the rest of the season and Maguire sticks around, we're not signing a defender for at least another year. And so Danny wants to know. I mean, I think he meant to pass it into midfield, Danny. I don't know if he necessarily meant to pick out Mbumo like that, but I do think he meant to pass it to. I think he meant to pass it to Bruno, and Bruno just scanned and saw what was going on and just let it run, man. Um, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, dude. Delit, what a force of nature Matthias Delit is. 3 out of 4 long balls from him. He was making clearances. He had an interception. He won all of his aerial duels as well. Made a vital challenge in our box late on to clear the danger. Like the guy is just absolute force of nature. I can't express how happy I am not only that we signed him, but that he stayed fit, because that was what a big concern of mine when we signed him was his injury record. But he is doing everything well. I see a little bit of Rio in him. I see a little bit of Vidic in him. I see a little combination of all the things that we've wanted for years. So big up Delit. That's my future captain right there. Even when he made that clearance, I literally hopped off the couch and was like, that's my future captain. That's my defender, man. He's an absolute beast. Shaw had a good match, another shot. He just did the simple things well, did a really good job, I thought, of reading the danger, stepping in whenever Brighton were kind of able to pick a long ball. He was the man really stepping in to cut them out and kind of put pressure on them. He won the ball high up the pitch that led to the goal later on. So I think it was for Mbumo's goal. He won that ball initially, who found Casemiro, who found Cunha, because Shaw was just getting involved. It was another really good showing for him. He got himself an assist too. Maybe he hears Lissandro Martinez getting back to fitness. Maybe he sees Aiden Heaven on the bench, and maybe it's that Alex Telles effect. Remember when Alex Telles turned Shaw into an absolute world beater? Maybe there's a little bit of that going on, but we can't fault Luke Shaw for these last couple matches. He's been an absolute beast in a couple of them. So let's see. Sebastian's second goal was all on Xerxes. Yeah, Xerxes I thought did really well coming on too. Let me get caught up on here. Johnny Hill back in the house. Big up, Johnny. Says, I keep seeing people online say Amorim proved the Amorim outers wrong and they need to apologize. This makes me laugh because Amorim didn't prove people wrong. What Amorim is adapt. Well, remember a lot of people said that he was stubborn and could adapt, and he did. So in a way, he did kind of prove people wrong in that regard. Again, jury's out. I'm never the kind of person who's like, cool, let's rest on our laurels. I'm the kind of person who says, well done, hard back at work tomorrow morning. We're going to keep it up. It is what it is. So, let's see. Jim says 100% Delit for future captain. Yeah, I think he's got everything in him to be a future captain. Danny says it was a heavy pass. I don't think it was meant for Bruno. It was straight to an empty channel with very good awareness if he meant it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to ask him and see what he says. I'm curious if he'll go like this or if he'll say, yeah, I was looking at Mbumo, because, wow. Everything about that goal was beautiful. Let's see. Rob says if Delit keeps this up, he could earn a call-up. I mean, Delit is having an excellent... I mean, he's probably not going to get you a whole lot of clean sheets, but he is having an excellent season, man. Bilal says there was a shot where it looked like it went wide, but Lamon's got his fingertips on the ball. Lamon's just does what he needs to do. There was... I don't know if you detected it. I can't remember the moment where I think it probably should have been a corner, and it might be the one you're talking about, Bilal. But Lamon's clearly got a little touch on it, and the Brighton players are kind of like appealing to the ref, and Lamon's is like, so I like that. I like that little bit of shithousery in there. That's some of that stuff that a lot of us were like, yeah, Emi Martinez, he has that in him. It's good to see that from Lamon's too. He's got a little bit of personality to him, so I like that. Dada Donna, big up Dada Donna. Welcome to the channel. Fans were Amorim out only for his stubbornness. If he adopts and changes, then fans won't be Amorim out. Simple as that. No need to make a storm over it. Yeah, say we just support him, support the players, and just hope they continue. We give criticism where it's due. We give praise where it's due, and then let the chips fall where they fall. That's why I don't get involved in or out conversations. I just want people to do well, and if they don't, there are consequences. And I'm not the one who chooses the consequences. It is what it is. So, Danny says, Delit, our most consistent player, hands down. Yeah, he's an absolute force, man. He was such a force of nature. Bexy says, Delit could get EPL player this season. Imagine the tears, the Scouse tears. I'm going to drink some right now. What about Ahmad? Dada says still ways to go for Amorim, or saying this. No, he's got a lot to prove because he hasn't done anything yet. So we're doing well. We've had a good run of some matches. We're having a decent season. Obviously, we're top 4, but he's got a lot to prove. Season's not over yet. So we wait and see what happens to the end of the season, you guys. So But what about Ahmad? He may not have gotten a goal or an assist, but I think what I was impressed with was his performance. I mean, he completed 1 out of 1 dribbles, 1 out of 1 long balls. He got an interception as well. I think he really should have been awarded that penalty, but I'm not going to split hairs. It's not his fault. He looks dangerous. We were always going to see probably a bit of a drop off in his numbers once Mbumo came in, because now he is the guy who is going to be supplying Mbumo, who might also supply Shesko. So Ahmad and Boom are going to find a way to work. I think Ahmad does a really good job of getting into good positions. There was that chance that he created for Bruno against Liverpool that Bruno really should have put away. Ahmad's really good at that stuff. He's got a bit of like an Ashley Young to him, where he's going to get high up the pitch, but he's going to have to cut it onto his left to do something. But he always tends to do something, so I'm not going to have a problem with that at all. Why am I arrested, Debasi? I don't know what that means. Dallo, I mean, like I said, I was not pleased to see Dallo in the starting 11. To his credit, I thought he had a decent match, better than what we've seen recently. Completed all of his dribbles, all of his long balls, 2 tackles, 1 interception, 3 out of 5 ground duels. I thought he and Luke Shaw were really having a good little relationship on that left-hand side. I think that both of them being natural fullbacks, maybe that helped a little bit. I'll take credit for Dallo's better performance yesterday. I will call it reverse psychology from my criticism leading up to the match. But give credit where it's due. Dallo had a better match yesterday than we've seen in a while. I'm not saying like we're fine, let's keep him forever. I'd still sell him if a good offer came in. But give credit where it's due. Casemiro, what more can you say about Casemiro that I didn't already say in my short yesterday? What more can you do? He gets a goal, he gets an assist. Yes, the deflection helped. I don't care. They all count just the same, Arne Slot. 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 4 out of 6 ground duels as well. I mean, he looks much better this season, Casemiro, than we've seen him. Sorry, I tickle in my throat. Let's see. Dada Dana says, I will only subscribe if you tell me some of the criticism you had for the manager yesterday. I trust with you. You're only going to subscribe if I tell you the criticism I've had from Ruben Amorim. Well, I didn't do anything yesterday, but while watching again, and I'll get to my notes here, set piece defending, especially on corners. And again, we can be a little bit vulnerable when that initial press doesn't win the ball back. We are wide open in midfield. Now, we've done well in the last couple matches to make us a little bit more compact in midfield, but we can get caught out. But we have numbers, and we've got people that can cover. So yesterday, I thought things really well. Maybe the substitutions yesterday, you can say they kind of changed the game, but at the same time, at 3-0, you should be able to make substitutions and you should be fine. Like, it's just the way it is. So what I saw yesterday, again, the main criticism I had yesterday was the set piece from the corner defending. It was garbage defending. Let's see. Johnny says it'll be very interesting to me if we keep Bruno past the summer, because at least right now I do not see why we need him part of specific moments. Yeah, I wouldn't mind selling Bruno, but again, I'm also not going to complain if he stays and continues to play well. It's just, again, it's like Amorim, like any other player. Roman, welcome back. So, bro, we winning and Liverpool losing to Brentford. Big up, man. You guys are funny. Yeah, there might be a lot of babies born 9 months from now after this weekend. Maybe after last weekend, too. You guys are funny. But yeah, Casemiro I thought good. Bruno created 2 chances, 2 out of 3 long balls, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 9 of 16 ground duels. The guy was getting stuck in. Brilliant dummy for Mbumo's goal. I mean, it was world class. I mean, look at all this space, and he just lets it ride. And he's done stuff like this before. He's always looking to create. He's always doing this dummy. He's always doing these no look back heels. He had some goals, like goal for Licha against Liverpool, that little pass to Kobbie Mainoo in the FA Cup final. Like, Bruno is just good at stuff like that. You can see he just lets that roll right on through, takes like everybody out of the game. And well done for Mbumo for just kind of reading that situation and continuing his run. Really good performance. The center midfield performance from Bruno yesterday, I thought it was indicative. Again, those defensive numbers I just listed off, indicative of a good center midfield performance. Shesko struggled, I thought, to get touches in the first half, and he probably should have had a goal, I thought, to go along with his assist. He did provide the assist for Mbumo, but I'm not going to complain. I know some of you are asking, what about Cunha? What about Mbumo? Don't worry, we're getting to those guys. Let's see what we're doing here. The boss says it was good to see, a good day to see Liverpool lose 12 extra minutes. What the heck? Yeah, that was them trying to basically let Liverpool back into it. Really, and what I was trying to tell my wife too, and I think this is what was happening for that match too, because Brentford were doing a lot of time wasting, a lot of gamesmanship. We call it shithousery, and I think the ref was trying to basically kind of punish them a little bit for that. I think he was, because they were doing that a lot in stoppage time, and he just let another 3 or 4 minutes run, and I was like, part of it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here with these refs this week. And part of it was, I do think he was kind of punishing them for a bit of that shithousery time wasting, which I don't agree with necessarily, but what are you going to do? Will Slot last? He'll probably be fine. I can't imagine Liverpool moving on this quickly. I mean, they stuck with Jurgen Klopp for 4 years without winning anything, so I can't imagine they're going to do something this fast. It's still early. It is it's a heavy blip, and it is funny, but I doubt that he'll lose his job. But we'll see what it is. So Lucky back in the house says I'm resting main players for today and tomorrow. Yeah, big up Lucky. Good to see you again, my friend. Um, yeah, Danny, he was. And that's the kind of performance we need to see from Bruno more often. He can be a playmaker, he can be a creator in chief, but he has to learn how to do it from a deeper position, how to kind of be patient a little bit, how to restrain himself when he sometimes wants to go chase the ball down. If he can do something like, if he can do what he did yesterday and like we did against Liverpool more often, then it's fine. I'm not worried about it. So um, Roman says, is Cunha the only Brazilian to currently play? I don't know what that means, but Casemiro is also doing a very good job. So um, big up, you guys. So let me move on to my thoughts, guys. Get your thoughts into who do you guys think the man of the match was? I want to know your guys' thoughts. I've got my three. Like the video, please. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. Starting with number one, Cunha. Just Cunha. That is all. That's it. That's the first one. I thought he was an absolute beast yesterday, and I called it in my match preview. If you guys remember, I called it. Cunha was gonna score. He was gonna break his duck. He was gonna start scoring goals. I mean, and his goal was beautiful. Pass from Casemiro, one touch to get it out from his feet, and then shoot and score. I mean, how many times have I said that? Mason Mount's done that several times. It's all you need to do as an attacker in that position. One touch, shoot. You don't need to take 18 touches. Just get it out of your feet, man. And I mean, how many times have I also said, he is playing like a guy who is starving for his first goal in a United shirt. He is absolutely fighting for everything on the pitch right now, on or off the ball. Cunha is a warrior, and it felt like that anytime something was happening, Cunha was involved yesterday. And I think people forget the dude's got techers, man. That back heel little flick to Bruno around the 60th minute or so to kind of keep that attack going behind the back right. He did something similar like that to Arsenal, I think, too, just a simple back heel. He's an absolute baller. Created two chances, 2 out of 3 dribbles, 1 out of 1 long balls, made 3 tackles, an interception, won 7 out of 13 long duels. I mean, for an attacker, those are excellent numbers. He was definitely my man of the match yesterday, Cunha, and the Premier League agrees because he was also the Premier League man of the match as well. So I was very happy with Cunha yesterday. Very, very, very good performance from him. I'm glad to see him finally get off the mark. And I called it. So what are you guys saying here, you guys? Let's see. You guys saying Mbumo was your man of the match. A lot of you guys say Mbumo man of the match. Yeah, get in your man of the match emojis in the chat too, so you can get involved with that. I got special man of the match emojis for members, so you'll find it down there. It looks pretty cool. Roman says, I wanted to say that not many Brazilians play with flair. Not many of them do. Some of them, especially ones that come in the Premier League, realize that you have to have more than that. Anthony struggled with this. Anthony had flair, not much physicality, and he found out that, it's not the Dutch league, it's not La Liga. You can't just get away. People are going to leave one on you, and refs are not going to call it. And that's the flair players do tend to struggle a bit in the Premier League, and it's just what it is. It's doesn't suit everybody, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. It just is what it is. Lucky says, I am with manager. We need more players like this. January Gallagher, another goalkeeper. Well, Lucky, I did do a video on Conor Gallagher. I posted that yesterday in the morning. Some of you guys have seen it. It's just my I did kind of a breakdown, like a deep dive at Conor Gallagher, what he brings, pros, cons, what's going on at Atletico and stuff, all that kind of stuff. I did a little bit of video for you. You guys can go watch that if you want and make up your mind on Conor Gallagher, because the links aren't going away anytime soon. So Darko says, what what should Shesko learn from Holland? I mean, I don't know if a lot of what Holland brings is teachable, honestly. Holland is just one of those just natural gifted players. Shesko said he did idolize Ibrahimovic growing up, and you can see a lot of that in the way he plays. He does have some hops to this kid. Did you guys see this video clip where he's like on a basketball court and he like jumps so high that he kicks the rim? Like, that's insane. Like, that's insane. um, Rob says it takes time for new players to settle in and gel with teammates. Cunha is there. Yeah, I like it though. Um, so yeah, Premier League agreeing with me. I think Cunha for me was man of the match simply from his overall performance. I thought his overall performance was just good. Obviously, when someone scores a brace, um, typically they're going to get man of the match, but it is what it is. We're not going to split hairs here. So what the heck just happened here? Sorry, my computer was messing up. Danny says heart, grit, determination is what he can learn from Holland. Yeah, I mean, it's true. The mentality stuff. I do think Shesko has that. Reportedly, he's staying late. He's working hard. He's showing up early in things. He's always asking questions, which he just wants to get better. And I have absolutely time for people who want to get better. So I'm happy about that. Moving on to number 2, you guys, while we're talking about your man of the match, let's talk about Mboum. Because this kid is just getting better and better as the season rolls on. It did take him a couple matches to kind of open his account for United with goals in, back-to-back matches to start the season. And then there was a little bit of a blip. Remember, we saw that sorry, my computer's doing a thing. There was a little bit of a lull in September, but you can see he was pushing, he was fighting, he was trying to get involved as well. And his first minute goal against the Scousers, along with his overall performance in that match, it showed me something different. It showed me something new. It showed me like he had embraced maybe the level that he needed to play at United. Not saying he was bad, but he just got better. Yesterday, he looked comfortable. He looked composed. He never looked worried. He looked a little bit frustrated against the Scousers. I think he was just trying to get on the board more. Didn't look like that today at all. While he was also just everywhere, getting involved. He constantly was popping up, right place, right time. Again, that goal, that lead from Bruno, he just kept on running. Like, awesome. His constant runs, his constant movement, I think that can be such an asset for us, especially if Shesko is able to win those headers. I think he just gets it, man. I love this guy. He completed 4 out of 5 dribbles. He 6 out of 8 ground duels. His dribbles actually were the most in the match as well. So I like what I saw from him as well. 2 chances, 4 passes into the final third, 6 of 8 ground duels. And man, my computer is just not wanting to cooperate today. You guys ever have that where your computer is just like, one day it's just like, nah, dude, we're not working for you today, my guy. There we go. He bagged his brace today. He was FootMob's man of the match. He did make it 3 goals in his last 2 matches too. So I like what I see from Mbeumo. I like this new level that he's reached in these last couple weeks as well. And I can feel, I know there was things were a bit tense when it was 3-2, but I could literally, even from my house, I could feel the 180-degree shift in atmosphere from my house the moment he put away that second goal. Like, you could just feel it. It was just like there was a little tension. You could kind of sense it. Everybody was like, squeaky bum. And then he puts that away and everyone's just like, hell yeah. Question for you. Is Mbeumo our best signing since Bruno? Let me know in the chat. Is Mbeumo our best signing since Bruno Fernandes? I mean, we went from Garnacho and Rashford, not to insult anyone, we went from Garnacho and Rashford to Mbeumo and Cunha in one summer. Like, is Mbeumo our best signing since Bruno? You guys let me know. What are you guys saying in here about this kid? Darko says, I believe Shesko has to learn fighting for the ball, coming back to get involved. Yeah, he might have to learn that there's going to have to be more to his game than simply being a finisher, kind of like what we see from Benzema over the years, or like what Harry Kane kind of turned into. He might have to do that, and so that's fair play. Fair point, man. Let me see here. Roman says, at first it wasn't working with Ahmad besides them getting into each other's spaces, but currently they are a deadly duo. Yeah, they just learned, like, it just clicked one day, didn't it? And they're just kind of like, yep, this is how we're doing it, man. And it was like, it reached its like zenith against the Scousers, and now it's just kind of like, we're going, man. I love it. Rob says, Mbeumo is such a great outlet, enables us to switch from defending to attacking in an instant. Yeah. I agree. Lucky says we're learning, get smart, flick ball. Yeah, if Shesko can do that, it's great. Debasi agrees, and Bumo's our best signing since Bruno. Big up. Roman says the club and Ruben should get off their high horses and call out their refs. You probably won't see Ruben Amorim call out refs. He famously did not do this even at Sporting. He doesn't tend to do it. He'll let the other managers do that for him because everyone else seems to have an issue with everything. Stephanie says, when we beat Forest. So Stephanie's going hard already. When we beat Forest and Spurs before international break, media and rivals are really going to take notice. I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched, but secretly right there with you. Wink, wink. I like where your head's at, Stephanie. Becky says the week about football will definitely help us against fatigue and building systems for next season. Yeah, it is a bit bittersweet, right? No Carabao Cup doesn't feel great. No Champions League, no Europa League even doesn't feel great. We do have FA Cup coming up. If we can build a good, solid league position, maybe put some distance between us and the teams behind us as we get back into the FA Cup, we could really be in a good spot. And the caveat there is we need to strengthen in January. We absolutely have to. I don't care where it is in the pitch. I love it to be a midfielder. We need to strengthen because we can't afford to take our foot off the gas. We have to keep going forward, and the Ineos are going to have to do something in January. We're just going to have to. So, let me see here. So, third point. Moving on. Number 3, Fortress rebuilt. I don't want to alarm anyone, but we're actually pretty good at home this season. I don't want to alarm anyone. Aside from the opening match of the season where we did lose 1-0 to Arsenal, despite being by far the better team on the day, and we conceded a goal, honestly, that shouldn't have counted. We haven't dropped any points at home since. In fact, we have more points at home this season than any other team in the league. And we've kept that record going of never losing a game at Old Trafford when we're up at halftime, which is a great record, by the way. People forget about that one sometimes. Everyone focuses on the academy player in the matchday squad. We don't lose at home when we're up by halftime. Performance-wise, I thought it was excellent, aside from a little bit of squeaky bum time there at the end. But I was proud of the way we played. We were on it from the opening whistle. We created early chances early on. Literally in the first minute, we already had the ball in the box once for an opportunity, and then another chance for Cunha in like the 4th minute too. So we were on it from the get-go. I'm very happy also to see us not step off the gas to start the second half as well. We created a couple chances early on in the second half too. So I thought it was really, really good performance. Again, a little shaky still defending set pieces. I don't know why Bruno's covering the front post. I don't get that at all. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Put the tall players in the front post and let Lamens deal with something in the middle. And then if it gets over his head, somebody's got to get on the end of it. So, but question for you. Has Ruben Amorim finally maybe started to turn a corner at United? Good last couple matches. The crowd is backing him now during this winning run. Maybe that's becoming like this tangible kind of wave that the players in Amorim can ride a little bit. Maybe it's cyclical, like symbiotic. Maybe the players perform well, the fans show support, the players pick up on that, they perform even better, and the fans get even more excited. It just keeps building and building. We'll see. At home, we are very, very good this year. We're kind of turning Old Trafford back into a fortress. Problem is, our next 2 matches before the break, Stephanie, are away. They're both away at Forest and at Spurs. Forest might be riding a new manager bounce. I think Sean Dyche's got a win in his first match. Spurs keep cruising along a little bit. They did lose to Villa recently, but they always can cause a little bit of problems. What are you guys saying here? Stephanie says, I watched Menu closely when he came on. Mbeumo was running harder to get back when we were 3-1 and wobbling a wee bit. Yeah, he's not the quickest. He's got to do better. And this is why I'm not one of these people who was freaking out a little bit that he wasn't playing necessarily, because he's young. He's got to, even physically, he's got to develop, let alone just tactically. He's got to do better. But it's fine. And that doesn't mean he's bad. He's just young. Same as Dorgu, same as Yoro, same as Garnacho. Like, he shouldn't be starting week in, week out. And if he wants to fight for a space to start in week, he's got to show more on the pitch. He got, well over 20 minutes, almost a half hour yesterday. So, again, not blaming him for anything. I'm just, again, pointing out a correlation between the substitutions and the dip and in the match. So, Jarko says, I only consider Amorim a good coach if he improves the criticism, which Sean mentioned earlier. Well, then that's just my opinion. It's not like universal or the end all be all. Let me drink some more Scouse Tears. It's salty and bitter, but it's so good. Once it hits your lips, it's so good. Those are just the things I think, Darko. And I'm not an expert. I don't have coaching licenses or anything, but I appreciate the backing, dude. Bexy says it's just important for United to stay dangerous, win, lose, or draw. We just can't afford to step off the gas. Sometimes in a match, it might look like we are if we sit back, but it's patience. We're trying to plan for the opposition now, which I like to see. Sean won't more game time. Maybe. We don't know. It could and it couldn't. He got nearly half hour yesterday. And so what did you see? Did you see something from him that you like? Was he better in that role than Casemiro or Bruno? That's going to be the difference maker. That's one of the things I asked in the Conor Gallagher video. Is it worth 35 million? Is it an improvement to bring Conor Gallagher to the squad? That's a question that only you guys can answer for yourselves. So Jim says, we didn't used to see a game through Mbumo scoring the 4 goal, but the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, it was an instant, I'm not going to gas up and say, 21's coming sometimes. I'm not saying we're back, but to be fair, we are fourth in the table now with 16 points. We'll see if that holds until the end of the day, because everybody else still has to play their matches today as well. So we'll see if we're still fourth by the end of the day. I doubt it, though. I doubt that it's going to hold off for the rest of the day. Why is my computer is not wanting to cooperate today? Whatever. 4 wins in our last 5. Only City and Arsenal have more points in their last 6 matches as us. And so I'm really happy with that. Imagine if we pulled something out of the hat before the international break. Maybe if we got 4 points out of 6, maybe we got a draw and a win. We could technically be top of the table at that point. Math. And look at that, a positive goal differential for us for starters. So I like that. And how about Jamie Redknapp trying to dick ride now that we've won a few matches and the Scousers are shit? People don't forget Jamie Redknapp. You're full of shit. A few media outlets and journalists, by the way, are also full of shit and completely flip-flopping this weekend. And we got receipts from all of y'all. Looking at you, Samuel Butthurts. I see you out there trying to call out Anthony Taylor for not giving the pen. Don't try to flip-flop, dude. We know what you've been saying about United for years. You can't take it back. So don't try to dick ride, bro. What are you guys saying here? Yeah, get your final thoughts in, y'all, before we end up wrapping up for the day. Roman says, still not over last season in Brentford, but we still concede a lot of goals for playing with 10 defenders. The quality, yeah, it's the set pieces do kill us. I just don't see a whole lot of actual active defending. Everyone's on the back foot. Nobody's really trying to get on the end of that ball. It's what I saw from the under-21s yesterday. Was just trying to play out from the back a little too much instead of just doing the simple thing and booting it. That gets you into problems. I'd rather just boot it, regroup, and try to win it back a little higher up the pitch again than try to pass it out from the back. But we have to just win that ball. It's the first thing you got to do. Bexy says, to be fair, Slot had it easy in his first season. You think so? What he's experiencing now is EPL level management. I do think that he was riding the wave of obviously winning a title, a lot of good players who'd already won and everything. And I think that does help. It's probably helped too that we were so shit. City were a little poor last season as well. So Rob says, be nice to see Palace upset today. Arteta looks too smug. Yeah. I mean, you guys know I never worry about Arsenal. I just don't. I don't think that they're going to win anything. I don't think anything like that's going to happen. You guys, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe, and please check those memberships as well if you guys want to get more involved in the channel. Please don't forget, go hype a couple of the old videos on your phone if you had a couple seconds. It's free. You just go below it, scroll, swipe left a little bit. You'll see hype. It does help the channel grow. It does help the videos get put in front of more views. It does help the community grow. I'd love to get the 3K subscribers before Dylan and I go over to Manchester in December. I'd love to walk around with that on my shoulders, but you guys are absolute legends. I know I posted it the other day, but it's just fun doing this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy getting to know you guys a little bit and enjoy seeing more and more people come to the channel because you guys are so supportive and you're so involved. So keep doing that, you guys. Love what I see from everybody. Hopefully we can have some good results go our way today and we can sustain at least a top 5, top 6 spot, but we'll see how it goes. Bexy, I don't know if I mean, I don't want either. I'd rather see City win it because we know that anything City wins is full of shit. So, um, yeah, Danny, I thought Xerxes is just wrong side. He's just wrong side of Dunk. There's no need to be behind him. Didn't make any sense. He should have been in front of him, but he's not a defender, so I'm not going to fault him too much. But he needed to do better there. So, thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate that. As always, you guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Scousers lose, United win. It's a good weekend. So I will see you guys sometime later throughout the week. Probably tomorrow. We'll do something tomorrow. We always try to do something. But until then, you guys take it easy. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.